mistakes where. First, a props change in the kitchen. The small vase of pink and blue flowers became a large vase of yellow and white ones. Then Wallace's school bag changed from a beige canvas satchel to a plain leather satchel. Next, Wallace tells Sam...
In the back garden.
But Sam saw the television...
In their own front garden.
Change 4. The kitchen window was broken, but Sam said...
What self-respecting thief, I asked myself, would break a bathroom window that opened perfectly easily?
And the fifth and final change, Phil's brooch, which disappeared during the last scene. Pretty tough, I thought, but the important thing is what the contestants thought. These are their answer cards, and this is how they coped. David, you spotted 2 errors, and so share third place with Sue, who also got 2, so 4 points each. Dale, you noticed 3 of the changes, and John, you did as well, so 10 points to each of you. And let's immediately transfer those points into the scoreboard. And there's the latest situation. John has improved, but out in front, 10 points clear with a Krypton factor of 30. From Brighton, Dale Foden. Round 4 takes us out to the brand new assault course. The contestants have spent the last 8 weeks training for the event and have practiced techniques with the Army Physical Training Corps led by Lieutenant Colonel Terry Macari. And it's Sue Roberts from Finstock, Oxfordshire, who sets off first. And they'll all be cheering her at the Palace Fitness Centre in Witney because they devised a very special training schedule for her, which they believe will help her to win this assault course race. But only time will tell as far as that's concerned. But Sue has certainly started off well and showing great style on the assault course. So the 3 men know exactly what they've got ahead of them. Nearest to us in the red, David Hinchliffe. And then in the middle, Dale Foden, and on the far side, John Horton from Romsey, Hampshire. David nearest to us, a rugby player. Plenty of drive there. On the far side, John Horton. In fact, they're all good athletes, these men. On they go into the wooden tunnel where technique is so important because it's such a confined space in there, doubling back on themselves. David grimacing because he went into this round in 4th place and he knows how important 10 points would be here. But already he's falling a little bit behind John Horton. And the question is, can any of them catch Sue Roberts, because she has started off so well. Dale's been dropped behind in 4th place at the moment, but Sue Roberts now going down this S-bend descent. And again, technique vital here, but she's doing that beautifully. They've had just a day to practice the techniques on these new obstacles with the Army, and Sue coping with it really well at the moment. She's quite a sportswoman. She's a hockey player at county level, plays for Oxfordshire. And over there, John Horton in blue. He's a marathon runner. He's run in the London Marathon 5 times with a best time of 2 hours 51 minutes, so there's no doubting his stamina. There in 3rd place, trying to stay with John, is David Hinchliffe. He's a wing forward with Chester Rugby Club, so I'm sure there's plenty of aggression there in him. Just taking a general look down the field, I think perhaps John Horton is closing a little bit on Sue Roberts as she goes into the water now and over the hurdle. And that's right up to her thigh, that water, and she's finding it quite difficult to get through there. But the Army telling her to drive on as she goes up towards the Burma rope bridge. John Horton coming down the scramble net on the far side, making a big effort to close on Sue with David in 3rd place. John ranked 30th in British orienteering and runs with the Romsey Road Runners. But here's Sue slipping her wrists through the safety loops, and the soldier sends her on her way down the aerial slide. And she's enjoying the ride down now, picks up those knees and plants the feet into the water for a good landing. And just as she does land, John Horton sets off down the aerial slide. And about the same distance again, back is David Hinchliffe. But through the final obstacle, the maze, comes Sue Roberts. It's been an absolutely magnificent run, and she even now manages a sprint across the line. So, punching the air in delight, 10 good points for Sue Roberts. Meanwhile, at the back of the race, Dale Foden settling for 2 points. But John here has pursued Sue hard down the course and comes across to finish second, 6 points. A very good run indeed by him. And that leaves David Hinchliffe to finish 3rd, a creditable 3rd, because it's been a very fast race indeed. So well done to them, and we'll go immediately to the scoreboard. And Sue is now just 2 points behind the leader, who, with a Krypton factor of 32, is still Brighton's Dale Foden. Looks like it's building up into a close finish as we move into the penultimate round, the pressure really on. In front of the contestants, a three-dimensional logic problem sure to send a shiver down their spines. Their task is to assemble the various irregularly shaped pieces into the frame in such a way that they form the Krypton cube. In other words, a cube where each face displays one of the 6 logos that identify the runs of the Krypton factor. So are you all ready, contestants? The test starts now. Clearly, the first thing to do here is to examine all the pieces carefully. There are 6 of them, 3 being a combination of 5 cubes and 3 being 4 cubes stuck together. Now, you'll also notice the colour coding, red sections for the red contestant, blue for the blue contestant, and so on. And that's important because those colourings will always face inwards, leaving only the black and the logos on the outside. Sue went into this round just 2 points behind the leader, Dale Foden, and would love to finish ahead of him here, and doing well at the moment. And this is the man who most needs the points, David Hinchliffe, in 4th place. And that section he's touching now in the shape of a cross is the key piece. It has logos on 4 faces, and it slots into the centre of the cube. Dale with the wrong bit for that corner, and he realises it. It had a piece of the response logo, whereas you're looking at observation, but he finds the right place for it now. John Horton going well, very much in the running for the 10 points, and that would put him firmly back in contention, but it's going to be close between him, Sue and Dale. Sue with just 2 pieces to fit. But Dale almost there, as indeed is John Horton, but Dale I think is going to win it. He does. Spins the cube, yes, all correct, 10 points, well done, Dale. And only a second or 2 behind, it's John, so he picks up 6 points and was so close to 10, but a very good performance. Dave getting there after a slow start, but he's not going to beat Sue because she just has that last section to slot in. That's it, 4 points. Important points with just 1 round to go. This is how it works out when we enter them into the Masters scoreboard. Well, the positions remain the same, but increasing his lead to 8 points with a Krypton factor now of 42. Dale Foden. Well, Dale setting a really hot pace, but don't forget there are 2 places in next week's Group A final at stake. Tonight's winner will take one of them, and if the runner-up scores more than 40 points, he or she will claim the other. So, stand by on the buzzers, contestants. 90 seconds of rapid-fire general knowledge questions. 2 points for a correct answer, but 2 points deducted if a wrong answer is given. Are you ready? The clock starts now. How many centuries ago did the Spanish Armada sail against England? David?
4.
Correct. What is the term used for a swimming race in which 4 different strokes are used by the same...
Medley.
John?
Medley.
Correct. What is the medical term for short-sightedness? Sue?
Myopia.
Correct. The myocardium is the muscle tissue of which organ? Sue?
The heart.
Correct. Which dramatist wrote Heartbreak House, Major Barbara and David?
Shaw.
Correct. Artie Shaw, Mickey Rooney and Frank Sinatra all married which film star who died in January this year? David?
Sorry, Garbert's wrong.
Ava Gardner. Which French word is the gardening term for pruning clippers used one-handed? David?
Secateurs.
Correct. With which nation are the secret societies known as triads or tongs associated? David?
Chinese.
Correct. In which square in Peking did Chinese students? David?
Tiananmen.
Correct. The Tin Man, the Scarecrow and the Cowardly Lion? Sue?
Wizard of Oz.
Correct. Ostend is a port in which country? David?
Belgium.
Correct. The Belgian writer Georges Simenon created which famous pipes? David?
Negre.
Correct. Which Russian dancer was Margot Fontaine's partner when they took a record? Dale?
Rudolf Nureyev.
Correct. Newry, Bangor and the Mountains of Mourne are in which county of Northern Ireland? David?
Kerry.
No, Down. In 1989, who became the new tenant of 11 Downing Street after Nigel Lawson's resignation? David?
John Major.
Correct. Which composer's major works include Elijah and the Hebrides Overture? That's it, the end of the round, the end of the contest. And the winner tonight with a Krypton factor of 44, the student from Brighton, Dale Foden. Well, a great performance by Dale, and our warmest congratulations go to him on that splendid victory tonight. And of course, we now know the full lineup for next week's Group A final. And it's this. Kate Billimore from Walthamstow, London, the winner of Heat 1. The Heat 2 winner, Katie Thompson from Darwin, Lancashire. And of course, tonight's Heat 3 winner, Dale Foden. Completing the lineup is Malcolm Cannon from Leicestershire. He claims the best runner-up place after a three-way tie, he having secured more first places. So it should be a tremendous battle, with one of them winning through to the Krypton Factor Grand Final in November. So be sure not to miss the Group A final next Monday at 7 o'clock. Until then, from all tonight's contestants and from me, good night.
The Krypton Factor quiz book is available in paperback from bookshops, priced £1.99.
If your local news programme has twice been voted the best in Britain, you know why you're watching TVS.
It's all talk in Coronation Street tonight of work, profit, feuds and religion, next on TVS.
Tonight on For If in Doubt, Guess.
Could be Brian Epstein.
The size of the largest North Sea project.
It's been an amazing tunnel from a strict tunneler's point of view. Very long tunnel, great problems with logistics.
Logistics mean getting the men in and the muck out. Tons of concrete tunnel liners in and tons of spoil from the tunnel boring machines out, every day through one entrance. In fact, they're digging 3 tunnels, a central service tunnel first, almost 5 metres across, and the 2 main train tunnels either side, 7.5 metres across.
The complexity is added to by the urgency, and I've said to colleagues, and I mean it, that this is the Anglo-French equivalent of putting a man on the moon.
13,000 men have dug the tunnel, taken 18 kilometres to the face on a narrow gauge railway through the service tunnel. The spoil comes out the same way, on trains which tip it onto conveyor belts, taking it to the surface. There's a plateau of spoil 1.5 kilometres long, being built at the foot of the cliffs. The spoil is chalk, blue marl chalk. The line of the tunnel follows the geological layer of this chalk 40 metres under the seabed, because it's soft and relatively easy to drill.